Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Rghaif's famous Meloui, and the secret to her famous Meloui is apparently this طحين Istanbul Turkish طحين. وعلاش كتستعمل هذه يا هيفاء؟ شنو فيها
الخيط؟ لا الخيط ما فيهش الخيط مرة.
It is very stretchy. فيه الخيط كي تدلك مزيان. المهم غتعمل ما كدلك شيء. ما شاء الله ما كدلك شيء. That's good. ما شاء الله.
حق اليوم عندكم انا شني كنعمل كنعجنو وكنغطيه وكنسى عليه ساعة ولا جوج سوايع وملي كترجع كتلقى العجينة بحال مدلوكة.
بحال مدلوكة. ما شاء الله. اوكي. ما شاء الله. غنعملو
واحد ديال هادي.
One bowl of Istanbul flour, and this is Ladin extra fine semolina. It has to be the really thin one. أنا ما كنتش عارفة كاينة صفراء وكاينة بيضاء بالحق. أنا ما كنتش عارفة.
كاينة صفراء كاينة بيضاء.
ما كنتش عارفة هذه. أنا أغلبية كنشري صفراء. دايما كتجيني صفراء.
داك الحرشة اللي كيعملوا في الزنقة ديال الزنقة اللي كتباع بالسمولينا بيضاء ماشي صفراء.
ما شاء الله really. Okay, so this is extra fine semolina. 1 bowl of extra fine semolina. The third one is going to be 1 bowl of the Asian atar flour, which is the one that they usually use for. They usually use it for chapatis and rotis, inshallah. But it is. You can't see it on the camera, but it is slightly flat, brown. صراع. So there's 3 different flours. 3 ديال الاشكال ديال الطحين.
خميرة ديال الحلوى وملحة وخميرة ديال الخبز.
Okay, بسم الله. So we've got شحال ديال معلقة ديال just a tip of a teaspoon. Tip of a teaspoon. You could say half a teaspoon. Not half a teaspoon because this is a ربع 1/4 of a teaspoon or 1/3 maybe of a teaspoon of yeast. We just use the normal Allison Easy Bake yeast. خميرة خبز. معلقة كبيرة very heap teaspoon of خميرة حلوى baking powder. معلقة كبيرة.
وهي الملح على حسب القياس.
احنا عملنا معلقة كبيرة ديال ملحة. tablespoon 1 tablespoon of salt, but again that's preference. That's your preference. Okay. Inshallah, yeah, we need a YouTube channel. Actually, أنا عندي YouTube channel. غندير
كاملين نديرو YouTube channel.
I know. دابا حنا غنخلطو عجينة. We're mixing the dough with lukewarm water. انا غنقول له بالانجليزي وانتي نترجم بالعربي. باش اللي كان الانجليزي كان المغربي يعرفوا.
هذه باقي ما كايناش.
ما كايناش. لا كاينه. زيدنا الماء. This is our second pint of lukewarm water.
عندي مسألة عتبقى صبرناهم بنفس الزلايف وزلايف ديال دارك.
زلايف كبارين. أنا عارفة 60 كيكونوا 4 ديال ديك 60 كيكونوا كيلو. It's equal. 4 smaller bowls are equal to 1 kilo. بحق هاد كبارين ما نعرف. These big bowls I have no idea.
نص كيلو.
I think yes. Yeah. Okay. So the big bowl that we used are at least half a kilo.
Yeah. So هنا يكون كيلو ونص.
So the dough is actually 1.5 kilos of flour mixed together. Yeah. ماشي عارفة.
أنا حدي كان عبارة طحين. That's it.
صافي. My mum, she likes to do things the old school way. She likes to just do it by eye. عينك وميزانك. But now you don't do that. Now everybody needs the exact measurements, so it's easier for everyone. It's proper kneading.
مسنساش كندير هيدا.
لا حتى الطحين قلتي بلا ما دير هذيك كذا.
هي ماشي اي طحين.
اي طحين
لو كيقول لك بلا ما دير لك anyway غنعمل له الكياس ديالو ديال الماء ونخليه شي ساعه وبصح ما كتضربش مره تمالا هو كيتطلق راسو. يمكن هذه دابا نفرك عليها من الماء.
الحمد لله. We're also going to need some room temperature. We're using low pack unsalted butter. القياس ديالها شحال الجرام؟ هذه تقول 250 gram of butter. We're also using some coarse semolina to help with dividing the layers. 1 tablespoon of baking powder. We're going to mix it in with the butter and just the butter. Okay, mashallah, didn't know that. That's a new thing. Okay, so we're going to leave it for 15 to 20 minutes to relax and get soft, inshallah. So we're going to put that back in the bowl and cover it up. بميكا ولا غير بخرقة؟
لا عملة الميكا.
بميكا. Okay, inshallah. So we're going to cover that with a plastic bag or some. Okay, now we put the dough away. This is now the butter mixed with شحال ديال spoon? 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And we're going to mix it up. Okay, so we've coated the tray with some oil, and as you can see, these Rghaif balls are massive. لا أنا بغيت ملاوي كبارين. That's the thing. I've wanted the bigger ones. Not I know how to do the smaller ones, but these bigger ones, I thought, how do you? Inshallah, she's going to teach me a very nice, easy way of doing nice, larger ملويز. كتعيطلو ملوي في الداخلية كيقولوا له ملوي أو لا شنو كيقولوا له؟ مسمن هكا يا مسمن. حنا من الشمال. كنقولوا شي مسمن. ما شاء الله. Okay, so yeah, so yeah. كل وحدة كتعمل دابا تنقد
لما كنعملو غير بعيني ما
عينك وميزانك.
كاين اللي كيحر بلا طويله وكيقطعها. الا بغيتي تعمل قد بعضهم ما نعرف انا كنعمل لها هيدا كتجيني سهله سلس.
So yeah, I usually make these the smaller ones. We call them Rghaif, but they also call them Msemen, and they're also called Meloui, the small square ones. I'm used to making the smaller ones, and I've never put yeast in it or baking powder. But I've learnt now from my sister-in-law that you can put baking powder in the smaller ones as well, but not yeast. She only uses the yeast for the bigger ones. So I've made it before, but I've not put yeast in it either, to be honest. But then again, I've used self-raising flour. Do you use this? Isn't self-raising. None of these are self-raising flour anyway, and none of the flours that we used are self. Oh, okay, that's a little one. Oh yeah, that's a little kid one. If you've got kids, that's a little one that the kids play with. Yeah, so look at Paivelo. It's nice. You have to cook it for them as well afterwards. They played with it. They can eat it. So how long do they stay like this, Heifa? About 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 to 10 minutes max. You have to leave it for a little bit, and then we'll start spreading them out. So we've just took a look at them now. They've obviously got a lot bigger. They've doubled even more in size. So we're gonna start now. This is what I've been waiting for. Bismillah وصلعن It's gonna be. I'd rather them be big and nice and like it's easier, isn't it, to get through.
ما كتضيعش وقت بزاف فيهم اللي كيكون.
وعندك ساعات كيتقطعوا.
شويه خصهم يزيدوا يرتاحوا بحكم مهم ماشي مشكل حدينا هذه. اللي كيديروا الرغايف في الزنقه ما كيطلقوهمش حتى لهاد الدرجه.
هي هادي بحال دابا داكشي اللي كيكون في السوق وفي
وما يبقاو حيت خصهم يسربيو
ما كيطلقوهمش حتى لهاد الدرجه.
لا نكست وانا نوريك قداش كيطلقوهم.
We've got the butter and the semolina, coarse semolina, and the oil ready. It's sunflower oil. What's in it طلقتيهم then? You've spread it quite.
Yeah. ما عرفتش غير سنست. كبرنا صغارين
اسحبت
حواشي
yeah, they're still thick. It has to be. We got used to that. That's old school, to taking it right until it's so thin, even from the edges. جو بارد. Is it still بارد؟ شعل.
لا حيت الزبدة كتكون شوية مطلوقة على هيدا. anyway مهم
ندوبوها شوية. واش ندوبوها شوية؟
لا بلاش ماشي مشكلة.
Okay, so you're spreading the butter now. You're sliding it over. اجي ما كيتقطعوش ملي
كتقطع.
واخا تقطع شوية. Okay, بحال باراتة إذن. A little bit like the طريقة باراتة. بوراتا ديال باكستان وهنود كيعملوها بحال هيدا شويه بحق ستيتوين، هما كيديروها ستيتوين ماشي قد هيدا.
هما كيطلقوها بيدهم.
كيطلق لا ماشي بيدهم، لا حنا كنا نطلقوها بالزيت بيدنا وهما كيعملوها رولينج بين.
يا داكشي تواركا وقيلا حتى المصريين ما كيطلقوهمش بيدهم، كيطلقوهم بمدلك.
Yeah, in Morocco we've got used to we have our tradition is to spread it with our hands using oil and melted butter like this, but Turks and Asians they always use rolling pin, and they have their own unique way of rolling it out with flour. So this is coarse semolina being spread. This is some coarse semolina being spread on top of the flour. See, I used to use a very old traditional method, Moroccan method of doing this meloui, which is why I stopped making it, because it was just too tiresome and time consuming. But this way that Rghaif's doing it now, mashallah, is completely new to me. I thought this way was only done for the smaller ones. I didn't know that it could be done for the larger ones. So you spread some semolina. دابا انا في الاول قلت الا عملت نفس الطريقه بحال هيدا غتجي طويله هيدا كيفاش
غتحطها ملي
غتحطها هيدا. اوكي ذاتس كليفر.
غتخليها حتى ترتاح وبعد عاد تسكريها. كانت كتجي صعيبه بالطحين الاخر.
الطحين الاخر كتجي صعيبه.
لا جاتك طويله بحال هيدا باش عاد تسكي عليها كيتعاطل باش كيطوع.
You start heating a pan. I don't have the traditional Moroccan maqla pan, but this is a standard chapati one that we've just put a little bit of sunflower oil in, and what is this? It's a medium heat, and we're getting ready. That's going to heat up a little bit for the main. Oh, there we go, mashallah alik. And it's filled out the pan perfectly. جاتي يدك. أنا كنت خايفة أنا المرة بتكون شوية كبيرة عليها. لا صغيرة عليها حتى نسحب على كباري. لا هادو مزيونين، هادو بحال هيدا مزيونين كيتقطعوا. I mean when they're cooked like this you can cut them in, you know, into 4 or cut them. كاينه ديال الحديد تماك
حيت ماشي مسرحه.
that's why. اوكي
المهم نجرب
مسرحه
هذه
غتعملنا الروايح غتشاهينا. that smells nice. نزيدو فيها شيء؟ لا هي هذيك ميديوم. Okay, I see it's progressing quite nicely. And she's actually turning them over with that palette. It's just like a silicone one. I would have used them. I thought she would use the big like frying palette. But this one's working quite well.
شي بهذيك حيت خصك تدخل تحكم.
Because you I see. Okay, so she's bringing it all the way in now. That's why she didn't use the normal palette. See, that's how you turn it over. Or a straight spatula. She said anything straight. I've got a pancake one. Would that work? It's not as big as this. It's slightly smaller. It's round. It's round like that.
عندي وحده ديال بلاستيك حتى هي هيدا مسطحه باش
Yeah.
هذه
Very nice. That is.
هذه ديال ما نطيبهم لك شي بزاف.
لا حيت
هادو راه طايبين. هي تقدر تعمل اقل من هيدا الطياب ديالهم
إلا كنت غتعملها في freezer. Yeah, if you're going to freeze them, if you did want to freeze them, you don't have to brown them till this, you know, to perfection. You can leave them slightly underdone, so that they brown to nicely when you've redid it. So she's patting them down very thin, but they're coming up really nicely. وكيفاش كتهزهم باش ما كيتقلبوا لك شي؟ There you go. She does it so quickly you don't see it. ما شاء الله معلمة.